Hi everyone, this is Big Benedict. We're playing Dante Must Die difficulty for Devil May Cry, the 2013 reboot. We're on chapter 11 of 20. It's called The Order, and we're doing a very easy fight for our first checkpoint here with the Stygians, who are the guys in the brown uniforms, and also the elite Stygians, who are the guys with the blue mohawks. So I haven't made all my purchases yet, but I am upgrading the guns last. I think the only gun that has much relevance in this difficulty mode is the shotgun, but at least it has a nice charge shot. But other than that, we're past the point of no return. And I am using the kablooey here, but even at level 2, or I don't think it goes to level 3, but it could, it's not very powerful. And just shooting it is not going to do anything until you detonate it. So the detonation is not very much either. So I think it's definitely the shotgun that's the main tool that will help you. The thing about the guns, though, is that you have less hang time when you're using the ebony and ivory. But when I need hang time, that's definitely the weapon I use. However, I quickly realized when I started playing this game and I needed hang time that you just don't get that much in this game. I mean, there is enough, but you kind of have to tailor your gameplay accordingly and jump a little bit later if you're going to be depending on that for hang time. But anyway, so I'm re-recording this audio commentary, and I don't even have to mention that. I mean, I could just not say anything, and that would be the better thing to do. But I went on a lot of tangents on the other commentary that you'll never hear, and I don't like to do that. It's nice, but for the people that need help, even now talking about the deleted commentary, it's not helping the person who's struggling here. So the guy here, the butcher, he has two main attacks. He's got that 4-hit combo, and he also has the 1 power hit. I think that one right there. He's very vulnerable after that, so just avail yourself of that and go in for your hits. He's also pretty much after both of his attacks, he's vulnerable, but particularly after that 1 hit where he just does that 1 power hit, which takes off like 4 of your health bar. So here you're going to need to be in demon mode to save yourself from the area of effect attacks that the hell hunters are using. And this is another long video, but I'm going to be here for you to guide you through it. A lot of chip damage in this game. I kind of, it is all my fault when I get damaged. That's a strong hit, that stab that he does, that kind of lunging poke that he does, those enemies there. But some of the range on the enemy's attacks, just give them a really wide berth, because it doesn't look like you will get damaged, but it is definitely better to be safe than sorry. Sorry to even mention that cliche, but other than that, yeah, just really watch out for those hits because they can add up. And since we're about halfway through the guide, I guess it's my obligation to say like what I feel about this game. My feelings still. It's still a really good game. It's just it's not hard for me, at least. I mean, some of it is. Some of the boss battles do require a lot of stamina, if you're not going to use items, which I'm trying not to use items. But I think the majority of the difficulty of this game is not because, or why it's not so hard. It's not because it's well checkpointed. That's just a nice feature that really makes you appreciative of the fact that there are testers probably on this difficulty, because it really is a game about difficulties. I mean, you have to play the game twice just to even unlock this mode. And even then, you still have to beat this mode to unlock the other modes, and I think you still have to probably defeat Hell and Hell to unlock Heaven and Hell and Heaven. That's way too much playing. You shouldn't have to do that. I mean, you should be able to unlock all the difficulties with 2 playthroughs. That's just excessive unlocking. But since this game is one where everything stacks, then it is, it does really benefit you to play it twice, and you're going to have to if you want to even play this mode. So here we have some of the elite Stygians and another butcher. What I always do though is every time I get to a checkpoint, I'll just consult the start menu and I just restart the checkpoint so I'm filled up all the way. It's pretty simple, but you might not think about it sometimes, especially when you're going through the game pretty quickly and you don't look to see if you're getting a checkpoint or not. We are going to be going to the nightclub level pretty soon. It's not the next level. Could be the level after that, but that is a long level. Just kind of overly long. So many encounters, and then we'll have the boss fight. So if you want to on this guy, you can have him kill the other guys for you. Sometimes if they're even, it's not even a matter of sometimes. If there's enemies, well, I guess it could be a matter of sometimes if the game is not going to decide in your favor. But if these guys are anywhere near this guy when he's swinging his arms, they're almost instantly dead. So even if they're not next to him, you could still avail yourself of his ranged attacks to have them possibly kill the lackeys for you. But anyway, here's the Dream Runner. No checkpoints, so just be careful. And a Tyrant's coming into the picture. So you're going to have to obviously you're going to have to multitask here. You can minimize the amount of multitasking you have to do. If you want to take the Tyrant out with the Devil Trigger, if you have any, it would have been unwise to use the Devil Trigger up until now. So I would imagine that people who are watching this would probably have their Devil Trigger. So just decide who you want to fight here, because you can kill the Dream Runner with the Devil Trigger if you have about as much as I do. Probably not. You don't need that much, but you'll definitely need to be hitting him with the Erics. So the guy doesn't have any new tricks. We've fought this guy many a time. I don't think you ever have to fight 3 of these guys, but that would be kind of interesting to see that. Also, I forgot to even mention, but somebody brought it to my attention, that there's no taunting in this game. How do I feel about that? I don't mind it too much, because I never really incorporated it into my gameplay, but it definitely had its function if you're trying to build your Devil Trigger. But you couldn't just mash on the button and expect to get the Devil Trigger built up. I think you had to do it within an enemy's proximity, so that at least you couldn't just spam it from a distance. But that's an interesting omission of this game. I'm sure they thought about it and just decided that they didn't want it in the game for some reason. Maybe it was just kind of antiquated of a mechanic to be in the game. I don't know what they thought. So like in a situation like this, I'm almost dead, but he's almost dead too. I know it without, just because the fight's been going on for a while. But I just refuse to heal, because there's just no reason to. The only time I will heal is if I'm 3 waves in and I'm almost dead, and I just don't want to waste progress and end up, which is essentially wasting your time. So, okay, so he's slaughtered. And now we're going to be progressing, following following the invasion here. It says invade right on the door. What I'm going to do, though, just to let you guys know so I don't have to address it in the next video, I might, but I might not, is that in the beginning of the next video, you're in limbo and you're guiding Kate, or what's her name? Kate or Kit? It's not Kit, it's probably Cat. I think it's Cat, my bad. Is this where the... This is where the last lost soul was that I needed. I believe it's in one of these locations. It's in a venue that's really similar to this. I love those taunts. You know, this game took out the mechanical taunt, but it taunts you all the time when you're playing. Just from unseen enemy, you know, from the threat. That I guess would be Mundus's spirit. A really good tactic to use on those harpies, though. And I don't know why they have the cat sound effects, which is really annoying. But the move that I did right there, it's not triple, but Y pause Y, to do massive damage, because not only does it lift you up. See, did I do it? I frequently do it on these enemies, but it continually hits the enemy while you're rising up on that final Y button press. So just watch out for that stab too. I'm well aware of that, but sometimes you're just in the middle of a combo and it just hits you. Okay, so we have some non-shielded aerial, like Beelzebub enemies. So just take care of them. You could latch on. Now these guys are the ones that throw those area of effect grenades on the ground. So just beware of those. The devil trigger in this game of the enemies, when they devil trigger, yes, I realize that their poise can't be broken and that they have more HP. You know, they kind of tank your hits, if you want to think of it that way. But it's not like the frightening kind of aspect that it was in the previous games, where it would just ruin your day once the enemy's devil triggered. But anyway, this is the next checkpoint. And you're not always going to be able to hit those two fire wheels either. That was my experience. So just see how the area of effect attack on the ground was in effect. What I had to do was just latch on from one guy to the next, especially if there's a detonating radius of effect on the ground. But nothing really damages you too much. Like, Devil May Cry 3 is definitely the hardest, and I hope to cover it, but I might play very hard mode first, even though I have Dante Must Die difficulty unlocked. The thing is about those games, and number 4 in particular, I hate having to grind for money to get items, and I hate having to do that. So perhaps when my skill level is a bit more advanced, then I could possibly do those games, but I don't want to play the game and have to depend on items. I mean, I want to use them when I need them, but I don't want to have to grind for money just before I do a playthrough. It makes the playthrough not fun, just because I realize that if I start dipping into that store of items, then I'm going to have to grind for money again. And it's just, that's the point at which I just wish there were better checkpoints in those older titles. So getting some serious hang time here. I'm doing the roulette spin, as it's called, Y pause Y. And if you want to use a shotgun to shoot them, that's a really good tactic, although you can't even tell whom you're locking onto. I know that clicking the L3 changes the target, but they don't even get illuminated to tell you that they're being targeted. It's unless I'm not seeing something, and I don't think that I'm missing anything. Like right here, I was clicking in the L3 button. I remember that because I just did this section. But remember, when they do that whirlwind attack, just let go of the chain and fall back down to the ground, because it will damage you. And there really is nothing worse than getting damaged when you feel that not necessarily that you shouldn't, like it's undeserved that the game robbed you, but when it is deserved damage, you just kind of feel bad that you had to take a hit. And in a game like this, it would be definitely easier to no damage a game like this, but still it would take a lot of commitment because it really is a game about not getting damaged. I mean, you know, that's not what it's about. I mean, they give you so much health if you do the missions and buy all the upgrades that I don't know. It's for a contemporary audience and it's not as hard, but it still is challenging. I'm just saying that having played the other games, it's just nowhere near as difficult. But if I had never played those older games and did not have the frame of reference, then I would think that this game is pretty damn challenging. But when I do want to say this, when I played this game a couple weeks ago and started playing it seriously, like I realized like every nice little touch that they put in to remind me that they were taking into consideration of people who were playing the other games. I saw all those touches, and I would say a little silent thank you for kind of tailoring the experience to what I was used to from the older games, you know. And in so doing, they made a product that was new. They put a lot of new stuff into it, and I think it's a really good, successful way to make a game. So anyway, we have a couple of chainsaw guys here gunning for us. So they have that one lunge attack, which they almost caught me on right there, and then they also have that little swoop that they do, the 3-hit combo. And they'll just alternate from a glowing status to a non-glowing status. And you can be, I mean, when they're not glowing, that's definitely the time to punish them. When you're close to them and they start glowing, that's definitely the time to back off from them and prepare to probably try to do the demon evade, but it's risky on these guys, especially those chainsaw guys. And one thing that I haven't mentioned, just because it's not an issue, is the loading time. Loading time is very, very quick. The only time you ever experience long waiting is if you reload the chapter, and they're just trying to set everything up for you. I imagine, you know, buffer everything in. Other than that, from a restart checkpoint or from a death, I'm back in the game too quick. And I know that there's no such thing as too quick, but I'm saying it feels really fast, and that's fucking great because way too many games have long loading times. Like, I installed Lords of Shadow 2, and it's unacceptable. It's way too long to load. And that game has a lot of in-game loading all over the place too, where they're just buffering in different parts of the world. Definitely unacceptable. So it's really easy to get lost in this venue here. There will be one confrontation with the chainsaw guy, and there are many lost souls in this area, and there is one secret door.
Damn it! Can anybody hear me? Great.
And no mini-map on this game. Like this area here would be a definite place where you would want the mini-map on. But it's kind of funny to even have a mini-map in a game that's linear. And I was just thinking to myself, I wish this game had a ninja sense, like in Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2. You know, just point me in the right direction. I'm tired of taking wrong turns here. But anyway, the way is over here. So it's behind that panel. And if you're moving around the environment and the camera turns on you like it did right over here, that's because it's just telling you that there's an enemy there. One thing that Lords of Shadow 2 at least had the decency to do was to turn the combat camera assist on and off, to toggle it. but still, there's no reset the camera in that game, which is just unacceptable. I mean, just ridiculous. Yet in this game, they give you pretty much any option you like, except that you can't adjust the degree to which the camera is sensitive. And I personally would like a little faster of a camera. I rarely put the camera sensitivity to all the way up, but I do want it a little bit faster than the default in this game. Anyway, we're heading back to the correct course here, and I believe that we have one more fight left. And in the next venue, I had the Lost Soul to collect, and I don't get it in this take because I was doing too poorly in the take when I got the Lost Soul, merely because what you have to do to get it is to either to do the charged uppercut with the Erics while you're hitting an enemy, and then the roulette twirl or the roulette spin. The Lost Soul, if you turn around right over here, it's up high on the wall above the arch. But fortunately, you don't have to ever re-get anything in this game. And if I remember correctly, what I do here is just I exhaust the Devil Trigger, because I was just sick and tired of being in this room after having tried to get the Lost Soul too many times. But I got it. I hope you did too, and I hope you cleared this level with relative ease. And I'll see you in Mission 12. Thank you for watching.